has entered the shallow walls of the Hall of Shame this week? Who has been crowned the captain of coonery this week? Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for the wankster of the week. So with that being said, let's drop that real quick. Now, this week's wankster, she is a first-time wankster of the week. And I don't suspect that this will be her last based on the jargon that she is saying thus far. But I will say this. I know we are early in January, but I am already naming this as a top 5 wankster of the year. Ladies and gentlemen, the wankster of the week goes to none other than former Clueless actor Stacey Dash. Now, Stacey Dash is getting the wankster this week because of some comments that she made in regards to the outcry of the black actors and actresses boycotting the Oscars this year. Now, she went on to Fox News, of all places, to let her opinion be heard as far as how she feels about not only, the boycott, but basically about what her position is on Black History Month or black-centric television shows and award shows in general. So I'm not gonna try and basically, describe what she says. I'm gonna let you hear it for yourself because I have it on tape, ladies and gentlemen. So with that being said, let's play the footage, shall we?
We have to make up our minds. Either we want to have segregation or integration. And if we don't want segregation, then we need to get rid of channels like BET and the BET Awards and the Image Awards, where you're only awarded if you're black. If it were the other way around, we would be up in arms. It's a double standard.
So you say there shouldn't be a BET channel?
No, I don't think so, no. Just like there shouldn't be a Black History Month. We're Americans, period. That's it.
Are you saying there shouldn't be a Black History Month because there isn't a White History Month?
Exactly.
No White History Month, eh? Okay. I'm going to scale back. I'm going to try and break this down into as many quadrants as I possibly can. Now, first off, she said how if we have to make up our minds as to whether or not we have to segregate ourselves or if we want to be integrated. The whole point of making centric-related television shows that kind of relate to black culture in America, or even networks such as BET or the Centric Awards or the Image Awards, is because we didn't have these platforms back when we were able to have careers in Hollywood. Hollywood producers and just Hollywood in general back in the 60s, and even further beyond that, would just ban black people from being at these events because of the fact that they weren't privileged enough to earn these awards, which is why black people had to create these awards and these networks in the first place so that we would be able to have some sort of recognition. And then civil rights kicked in, and then that's when things start to make a change, a gradual change, basically. On top of that, she says how, there should be no BET, and how because there is a BET, then if we flip it around and if there's a white-centric network, then we would be up in arms. Newsflash, you dumbass. There are white-centric stations all across the board. You name it. NBC, ABC, CBS. Hell, the network that you're on, Fox, is whiter than Sheamus, the WWE wrestler. What are we talking about? We're talking about a network that has a demographic of 50-year-old white men ages 59 and up, basically. You're telling me that there's no white television? And also, she went on to go on about how Black History Month should be abolished because, again, it's another form of segregation. Wrong. Black History Month was instituted because of the fact that in the education system, they refused to teach about how black people made contributions to the United States of America. Despite the fact that we were whipped into slavery for the last 400 years, she thinks that is somehow segregating ourselves. No, we are using that month to institute studies and teachings on how blacks contributed to America. You take that away, and then you're going to take away the entire aspect of black history within America. There are even some schools in America to this day, particularly in the Deep South, that hide the fact that blacks were enslaved. So if you take that away, then what do we have to pass on to the next generation? That is why Black history is instituted. On top of that, you have to take into consideration that not a lot of schools or not a lot of networks in general are gonna want to support anything that's black funded because they think that it's only predicated to black people. So no, if you as a white person are watching BET, you're not breaking the law or anything like that. BET is just there to let you know that it is a black-centric television station, but all people of all walks of life are welcome to watch it. That's like saying I can't go to Howard because I'm a white guy. No, go to Howard if you want to. If they have the program you're looking for, go for it. Basically, there's too much ignorance for me to even, try to uncover, basically. Stacey Dash is an idiot, all right? Like, she lives by the name Clueless because she had no clue of what she was talking about in her stupid little rant. She just reminds me of the atypical black person who hates being black. They hate the color of their skin, they hate the texture of their hair, they hate the fullness of their lips and their curves, they hate everything that has to do with being black or being African in general. And I don't know if you guys noticed, but have you noticed Stacey Dash's skin tone kind of increased in melanin over the years? Like at first she was kind of dark, but then she kind of got a bit more brown, and then maybe like a brown and then maybe like a caramel tone. I don't know, maybe it's just me. But the point is, Stacey is trying to distance herself from black people as much as she possibly can. And I find it ironic that she has something against BET, because last time she was on BET was no more than, I would say, 3 or 4 years ago, when she was on a season or 2 of The Game, which was one of the most terrible shows ever. But that's another story for another day. All in all, Stacey, you are a wankster for what you said, and I'm calling you a top 5 wankster of the year right now, and it's only January. On that note, do you deserve this wankster? Of course you do. So, with that being said, we're going to drop on her one more time, just like this. 50 Cent, hit him with it. Rich.